Hello. I know it has been a minute, and some people have asked about an update on my surgery. I'm a year and 2 months out from my actual surgery, and I hadn't did an update about it, and the reason being is because I was not happy with the doctor and the results that I got back from the actual surgery. I was supposed to have another surgery in December just passed, but I decided not to do it. Me and my husband decided to just go ahead and have another baby, and I felt that that was the best thing to do right now, and I can redo my surgery afterwards. There's several things that I want to have done, and I was like, it'll give me enough time to be able to save for surgery again, probably for next year sometime, and then I'll be able to take my time and research another doctor. Now, don't get me wrong, I did research this doctor. I liked the doctor because he didn't do a lot of surgeries in the same day. He seemed to be very conscientious about how he handled and dealt with his patients. All that kind of changed and went out of the window to me once I went to the DR. I wouldn't recommend anybody going to this doctor, and I'm going to say this. I've seen some other women that he has done work on while I was there, and they looked amazing. So I don't know what happened between them and my surgery, but my surgery, I came out looking the same with just the pouch in the front missing. There were bare minimum lipo done. He claimed that I had tough, like the fat under my skin wouldn't break up. So he said he had a hard time with that. So like I said, my BBL was very, very minimum, which really wasn't a big deal with me so far as the BBL was concerned, because I'm not necessarily looking for a big butt. I mainly wanted a flat stomach and a small waist. And I wasn't looking for a video vixen look, but I definitely wasn't expecting what I got. And that's not y'all fault, but I was kind of really upset, and I actually got kind of depressed when I got home. So I just wasn't feeling doing a YouTube video about it, because I put a lot of faith in this doctor, and I put a lot of hopefulness into what I was going out there for and what I was going to get back in return. And even though I wasn't looking for my body to be a video vixen body, I wasn't expecting the body I got. Now, listen guys, I'm not small, but I was never a really big woman either. I'm not a big woman. My body frame is petite. I had stomach, and I had back fat, pretty much, and no hips. So I wanted some hips, wanted my back fat gone, especially that bra roll that aggravates me, and I wanted my stomach to be smaller. Now, don't get me wrong, my body has changed a lot since the surgery. I have went from a size 12, which technically I probably wasn't really a 12. I probably was like a 10, but I wore a size 12, to like a size 4'6", 6'4". I can wear, depending on the material, I can get in something as small as a 4, and but the biggest I have ever had to buy is a size 6. I'm in a small in my pants and pretty much everything. My tops are still pretty large, but I have big shoulders and I have breasts. They're not large, but they're a nice size. So overall, I am content. I have become content with what I have. Am I happy? No. Would he ever touch my body again? No. And I think what really made me upset was the fact that I texted him, before I left, I was like, I didn't like what I had, but I was going to let him correct it. He was going to be my doctor to finish up what what he started. And I was okay with that. And then when I got home, we all know that I'm a diabetic. Diabetics don't heal as fast as some. Now, my healing wasn't bad. I have to give it that. Mainly, my problem was all of my stomach pretty much healed, except for the middle. It healed, but it took maybe about 4 weeks to do so. And I had good sugars. My numbers were awesome. My A1C level was under a 6.5. I was doing awesome. So it wasn't me having out of control sugar or none of that on why it just took longer. It just did. And it could have not even been contributed to my diabetes. I did have a baby before, and I had a C-section. And we all know that where they cut you for the tummy tuck, they also cut you there for your C-section. So right where I was having a hard time healing, it probably was just some extra scar tissue, there that was giving me a little bad time. But I took care of it. It wasn't nothing oozing. I didn't get no infections. Nothing was nasty. None of that. And thank God for that. I am appreciative because I'm glad I didn't go there and I came back with some kind of infection or something. I am appreciative of that. I didn't have no burns, but hell, you don't get no burns if you don't get good lipo. So, if you don't get lipo, because he didn't lipo me right. Now, don't get me wrong. If you get good lipo, you still shouldn't be burned. But I'm saying that I didn't get lipo like that, so I had no burns. Anyway, so I say this to all you ladies who may still be watching me, especially since it took me so long to make a video, that make sure you are doing your research. If you do your research and make sure you don't pick a doctor because the girl on Instagram looked good and that doctor did her surgery and you think you're going to come out looking like that, because you're not. Nobody comes out looking the same. When people start looking cookie cutter after plastic surgery, it's because they've had more than one surgery. And if they've told you they only had one surgery, they either have already had a nice body from the beginning. They just needed a little sculpturing and a little help, or they've had several surgeries and they're lying to you. I'm just saying. I did my research. I did due diligence on this doctor, and I researched him for a year. And he disappointed me on all angles. And then when I got home, he told me, he said, well, every week text me a picture of your scar. I'm like, okay, you're healing. And I'm like, okay, I liked that. If I didn't like anything else, I liked the fact that he wanted to keep up with my healing. So I texted him like he asked me to every week. Now, before I left the DR, he told me, he was like, that little piece in the middle may take about 4 weeks to heal. And he was on the nose. It took about 4 weeks to heal. And so for 4 weeks, I'm sending him pictures. And when I text him back, like after the 4 weeks, and I'm making plans for my next surgery, he told me that what I need isn't surgery, and what he can give me won't help me, or something to that sort. I'm like, well, where the hell did that come from? Now, I don't know if that was him or if that was his assistant, but that definitely turned me off. I was already upset and wondering if I should even deal with him. And then that comment came across the board. And I wasn't pretty pleased about that, because I'm a questioner, and I'm not crazy. But I am a questioner. If you're going to touch my body in that way, and then you're going to touch my body in that way, and I am coming overseas or to another country for surgery, and I'm leaving my family, I need to be able to trust you. So my questions may be a tad bit extensive, and you don't want to answer those questions. then I feel like at that point you're not the doctor for me. And you could tell me you don't want to answer those questions, or you don't want to do my surgery, or whatever the case may be. But don't make a comment like you're trying to call me crazy, because I'm far from that. So that with that being said, just make sure that the doctor that you choose, especially if you're going overseas anywhere, not just to the DR, but to the DR, to Colombia, to Mexico, to Tijuana, wherever you may be going, I feel that make sure you do your due diligence with researching your doctor. Make sure you know exactly what kind of results that this doctor is giving out, and it is close to something that you are looking for, and exactly what you are looking for and that you're going to receive. Do not just pick a doctor because somebody else went to that doctor and they got really good results, because it is very well possible that the results that they got, you won't. And that is what it is. Doctors are human. They do make mistakes. My problem is when you make these mistakes, you should be able to correct them with no strife. You should be able to accept your wrongdoing and accept the fact that you didn't handle that person in the right manner, and try your best to fix it or to please that person to make it better. So far as my diabetes is concerned, like I said, I did several things to get my sugar down. I started to exercise more. I work as a banquet server, so exercising wasn't hard. I just pretty much made myself make extra trips at work that I didn't have to make doing work, and that, walking faster, picking up my pace, it helped. I started taking Trulicity. I love Trulicity. I will never take another drug if I don't have to, because Trulicity, I take it once a week. It helps control my sugar all week long, and I'm good. And it's not considered an insulin. Everybody asks me that, and I don't really know the difference, and maybe I should have researched it and paid attention to it before I made this video. But Google it. I love Trulicity. I don't have any bad side effects from it. I do have side effects from the metformin, though. I still take the metformin. I take 1,000 milligrams a day. I'm prescribed 2,000 milligrams a day, but I can't take 2,000 milligrams a day. One, because metformin makes me drastically sick, and and two, it helps my sugar will be too low. Between work, Trulicity, and the metformin, if I would take 2,000 milligrams a day, I'm sorry, y'all, I had to turn around and get out the sun. If I would take 2,000 milligrams a day, I would be drastically sick. So far what's been working for me is the Trulicity. I take metformin, and I take something called Kaiserpan that goes with the metformin, and it pretty much evens out my sugar, my numbers, which keeps my A1C in a good range. So I suggest you see what works for you, what combination works for you to help you get your sugar, your diabetes under control before you have this surgery. It is a must. It is important. I don't care if the doctor does not ask you or tell you that you have to get your diabetes under control. Do not risk your life for this surgery. It's not that serious. It's not that important. It's not going anywhere. You can take a little bit more time just to get your diabetes under control to have a successful surgery. So I wish you all the best. I'm sorry I took so long to put out another video. I will have surgery in 2020. I'm debating on where I'm going, because I really don't want to go to the DR anymore. Not because of what that doctor pretty much did. It's because of all the controversy behind going to the DR lately. Or what's been going on in the DR. It's just been a lot. It's a lot of mess. It's a lot of women going there to have surgery, but they're fussing and fighting with other women who are in the same position they are. None of this stuff should be going on. I don't personally have time for that. So I'm not sure if that's what I want to do. Like I said, me and my husband want to have another kid. I only have one. I want to have twins. He said no. But we'll see what God has in store for both of us and see what happens. I keep saying that the way I'm saying it is because my pregnancies have to be planned. I have to do IVF to get pregnant. I have PCOS, and I don't get pregnant the good old-fashioned way. So we have 8 embryos frozen. And we're going to use them. Hopefully, we only have to do 1 cycle, and we'll get pregnant like we did the first time. But by some means we don't, then I will use all 8 at some point. If I'm gonna say this, I'll use all 8 if have to, which means it'll be 4 cycles. They'll use 2 embryos in each cycle. So yeah, so I will have hopefully twins by the end of 2019. But if not, if we just have 1 more, then that's all we're going to have, because I am 40 now. I will be 41 by the time I have this child. And I want to have, I don't want to be no later than this getting pregnant, because the reason why it took so long for us to get pregnant this time, or to decide to have another baby this time, was because I was saying I wasn't having any more kids, and that was the reason why I went on with the tummy tuck. But that's not here nor there. It has nothing to do with the surgery. But when I do get ready to make an update on my surgery, I will update you guys on my surgery and my surgery journey, and where I'm at, and where I'm at with saving, where I am. I will even update you all on where I'm at with my IVF cycle, because this channel originally started with IVF. That's where I originally, and if anybody went back to watch any of the other videos that's on this channel, you will see that this originally started with an IVF journey, my channel. So with that being said, I wish you all the best of luck. Research everything. Oh, and this is something that's very important that a lot of people do not do. Everybody is so gung-ho about this surgery, and everybody is so gung-ho about having surgery, and where they're going, and who they're going to, and where and what doctor they're going to use to have this surgery. And that is all good. And like I said, make sure you research who you're letting touch in your body and making these changes on you. And also make sure that your diabetes is completely under control before you go under that knife. Too much bad stuff can happen if you don't. It's not worth your life, especially if you have kids. Your kids want you to come back home, but it's just not worth your life, period. But please research aftercare. Aftercare is so, I can't stress that enough, important for you all to have. You need to be able to pay for lymphatic massages when you get home. You need to be able to know how to clean your wounds, if there are any, when you get home. You need to be able to at least get 1 or 2 checkups with a doctor when you get home. Make sure you have all these things in line. Aftercare could be pretty expensive. Literally. Make sure you wear your faja. If you hit my car. Oh, I'm sorry. And I can't edit this. I don't know how to edit this, so that's just going to be a part of the video. But I apologize. Make sure you have your fajas. Make sure you have somebody who can alter your faja. If you don't have someone who can alter your faja, make sure you have the money to buy the next size faja. Fajas are not cheap. Sometimes the cheaper ones don't work as well. It doesn't give you the correct compression, not where you're supposed to have it. I personally will tell you to try contouring fajas because it's contoured to your body, or Curvy Girl's faja because it's contoured to your body. So, but if you can't afford those 2 fajas, just make sure you have a pretty decent faja that you're comfortable in and that you can wear every day, at least for 6 months. Honestly. Because one thing I'm gonna say this. even though I did not get the results that I was looking for, and Faha couldn't make that happen. But what I can say is, when you get off that table, you may not have that banging body that you went on that table thinking you were going to have. But that does not mean the doctor did not deliver. It just means you're swollen. It means you have fluid, and you need those massages. You need to keep on your faja, your foam boards, your ab board, your backboard, to make sure that fluid moves to where it needs to move. And consistent massages. Your body will form until that look you're looking for. I can almost guarantee that. But you have to wear your garment. You have to wear the supplies that are given to you or told to use to make your body not retain that fluid, because this is what happens. When you don't wear the garments that you're supposed to wear, when you don't wear your foam boards and your ab boards, the foam boards are put on your side to make your side to keep that dip, that curvature on the side of your body. I'm gonna give you that waist you're looking for. Your ab board helps keep the fluid out of your stomach and keep you from getting a seroma. You can get a seroma anywhere you had lipo. You don't want a seroma because they have to drain that. That's extra fluid that has built up in pockets where you have had liposuction. You don't want that to happen. That can be quite painful, and it's dangerous. So be very careful and very diligent on how your aftercare may be or going to be. I personally say, watch as many YouTube videos as you can. Ask as many questions as you possibly can. I don't give a damn who you annoy. Ask the questions so that they can be answered. Because if they are not answering your questions and can't answer those questions for you, that is not where you need to be. Make sure you wear your garments. Make sure, and not one of those wrap things. That does not help. I personally feel, this is my personal opinion, them wraparound things that the doctors in the States give you that look like big ace bandages, it can help with your faja. But I personally don't believe that they give you what you're looking for. The contouring of the body does not come from that. So don't use that. Or don't use it alone. I personally feel. That's just my personal feeling. But make sure you wear your garments. Make sure you're diligent. You have the money for aftercare. Make sure you keep up with your diabetic doctor, because fluid, pain, surgery, all that will make your diabetes go up, make your sugar levels go up. And not because you're eating something wrong or doing something wrong. It's just your threshold of pain or whatever the case may be. It's not where it needs to be. Your body is like, what is going on? And it's just a reaction. It's the same thing as your blood pressure. Your blood pressure may spike a little bit or even lower because your body is trying to adjust to the changes. So don't be alarmed, but don't be naive. If something continues and it doesn't get any better, go to the doctor. Go to the emergency room. See if you can find a doctor that is understanding. Like, look, I'm having surgery, but I'm not having it in the States, and I need to, have somebody here to take care of me. Are you possible the one that can at least just look over me and make sure that I'm okay? Try to establish that relationship with a doctor. All doctors will not do it because you're going to another country, and some doctors won't even do it if you stay in the United States. If you went to Atlanta and you lived in Florida to have surgery, doctors in Florida may not deal with you because of the fact that the doctor in Atlanta, you're assuming the responsibility from the doctor in Atlanta. They don't want to do that because they didn't do the surgeries. But some doctors are very understanding, and they will take care of you as a patient and not worry about where you went to have surgery. Not all, but some. So if you can find one, if you're lucky enough to find one that will do that for you, I suggest that you do it. But aftercare, aftercare, aftercare. Make sure your aftercare is just as important as your surgery, if not more important as your surgery. Make sure you take care of you. After all this is said and done, it's all you. It's all you. You have to make sure that you do what you're supposed to make sure that you get the results that you want. And if that means staying in your faja for a year, then stay in your faja for a year. But moving that fluid helps tremendously. It makes a big, big difference. So make sure you're getting your lymphatic massages. Get at least 10 get as many as you can in a DR because it's cheaper. And honestly, try to get at least 10 massages when you get home. It's going to be expensive, but you need the massages. And make sure whoever do your lymphatic massages know what they are doing. Okay? God bless. You all have a beautiful Valentine's Day. It is a beautiful day outside. And I wish everyone the best on their plastic surgery. Remember to make sure you do all you can to make sure that your diabetes is under control before you let them cut on you. It makes a difference. It really makes a difference. You want to be as healthy as you possibly can getting on that table. So get a checkup, a workup, get your heart checked. Make sure everything is okay before you go and have the surgery. Make sure you have your hemo up. I found a way to get your hemo up so that you can have the surgery that you need to have, or the surgery that you want to have when you get out there. With that being said, once again, I've said that twice. And with that being said, you all, I love my followers who are following me. And if I have any new followers, thank you. And to the young lady who requested this video, you are the reason why I did this video, because I hadn't really thought about it in a while. And when I got the message on my YouTube channel that someone is requesting for me to do an update, I was like, you know what? Somebody's actually interested, so I'm going to do an update. So for all who wanted this update, thank you very much. And now you have it. If you have any questions, please send me a message or put them in your comments down below, and I'll be more than glad to answer them. Thank you and have a blessed day.